anyone can be on Twitter and they have to be active on any social media platform, not only on Twitter, if they want to be famous or they want to grow on social media platform.
This is episode number 5 of the Growth Genius podcast, powered by Infidigit. Welcome, friends, to the Growth Genius podcast. My name is Kaushal Thakkar. I'm the founder of Infidigit and your host for the show. Each week, I interview geniuses who have created phenomenal digital growth for their organization. We discuss the key techniques and share insights to help you learn and create your own growth story. Twitter has become a household name and our primary source of getting quick updates even before the media reports it. Famous personalities like Amit Panchal have millions of followers and they use it to keep their followers informed and entertained. It's been said that via the efficient use of Twitter, many politicians have won elections too. Today we are going to discuss the topic Advanced Twitter Marketing Techniques. And we have a growth genius who is a Twitter celebrity himself. He has around 45,000 followers and was recently on the 10th position in the list of top digital marketing influencers in the world. Amit Panchal is a digital marketing mentor for several people and consults several brands. Many of his tweets have thousands of comments and likes. I believe you too would be interested in creating such a following. So let's hear more about Twitter marketing from the genius himself. Amit, thank you so much for being on the show. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good, and thanks to you as well for inviting me and recording this interview.
Perfect. And how's the climate over there today in Ahmedabad?
It is good and the little bit cloudy.
Oh, nice. That's good. Amit, for the audience, could you help us with your introduction?
Yes, hello all. I'm Amit Panchal, an independent digital marketing consultant based in Ahmedabad, working with multiple clients and advising them for their digital marketing strategies. Apart from that, I also working as an influencer for multiple brands on social media platforms.
Really nice. And Amit, we are amazed because you have a splendid way of being on that Twitter platform, and there are so many followers who follow you continuously. If somebody else wants to gain followers, how could they do it? Could you at least name the top 3 factors through which a person can gain more followers?
The first point would tell that anyone can be on Twitter and they have to be active on any social media platform, not only on Twitter, if they want to be famous or they want to grow on social media platform. And the second point is to use hashtag effectively. 2-3 hashtags are enough for single tweet.
Mm-hmm.
Apart from that, the third point is people can join the Twitter chats related to their industry.
Okay.
So yeah, if they are from the social media, so they can join the Twitter chat related to social media. And if person from the SEO industry, so they'll join the chat related to the SEO, like SEMrush, SEO Talk, or many Twitter chats are going nowadays on the Twitter platform.
Perfect. And how do you go around? Let's say if I'm on Twitter and I want to join a particular Twitter chat, how does a person do that?
So for that, they need to follow the thought leaders and influencers from particular industry, and through their tweets and updates, they'll get an idea for the Twitter chats.
And they can put it in the comments and become a part of that particular conversation.
So any person, they just need to follow the hashtag or particular hashtag to join the Twitter chat. And after that, many people, those who already in the Twitter chat, are discussing on particular questions and giving answer for that question. So they can join just by giving the answer of that questions.
Perfect. Fine. And let's say while the followers is one part of thing, but why do people get into Twitter marketing itself? Why do we consider this as a marketing channel?
So the first point I would like to say is it is a free marketing platform. You can share the content based on your interest and they attract the audience that you want to attract on your Twitter profile.
Mm-hmm.
It obviously helps you to expand your reach to the global level. So there is no any geographical boundary on this platform.
True.
Yeah.
And also helps in becoming a local celebrity, I would say.
Yeah.
like you are.
Mm-hmm.
Great. For the audience, we also wanted to understand that when you are doing a tweet,
Yes.
while it's important to put in those tags to be a part of the Twitter chats, what is the importance of those images and videos?
So I think why images and videos are important, because when we include image in the tweet, there is a possibility to get more engagement for that tweet. And videos will get the 6 times more engagement as compared to the text tweet and the image tweet. So I personally recommend and suggest to the whenever you are going to tweet, use image and video in your
Videos.
tweet. Yeah.
And more videos, because you're saying that it would be 6 times more
Yes.
than
Yeah.
that of an image or a text.
Yeah.
Would a similar stats be available between image or text, or image and text at least gets the same amount of visibility
So,
almost?
in one survey, I read that image will receive the 89% of more engagement as compared to the text tweet, and the video 6 times more likely to the as compared to the image. So, whenever you post any image, you will receive 6 times more engagement and the response as compared to the image tweet.
Perfect. Fine. And the other point which you mentioned earlier was that to gain more followers, use hashtags. So while followers is one thing, any other highlights of the hashtag or any other benefits of using a hashtag other than gaining followers?
To gain the followers, you need to be active and post content which is related to the trends.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say there are top 10 trends going on the particular city in Ahmedabad or in Mumbai.
Mm-hmm.
So you can tweet if you think it is relevant to your industry or niche or based on your interest. Posting tweets will also gain followers from the similar interest or from the similar topic. Apart from that, you can also include 2, 3 hashtag in a single tweet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is 2, 3 tweets a magic number? Because I see many people saying don't use too many hashtags. Some people say 2, 3 hashtags, or some people even say more. So, is there any specific magic number over there that okay, 2, 3? In your experience, you have seen that okay, it helps more with 2, 3.
So I think sometimes I'm tweeting without the hashtag as well.
Okay.
So, but if you want to stick to specific topic, let's say digital
Mm-hmm.
marketing, or
Hmm.
want to share something about the specific area, or so you need to use a hashtag for that. Let's say if I want to read something about there is a water logging on the
Hmm.
Helmet Crossroad in Ahmedabad, I'll use the hashtag Ahmedabad and hashtag Ahmedabad Rain. So through that hashtag, people will come to know. So this crossroad is already waterlogging and we need to avoid that.
Mm-hmm.
To create awareness and provide the proper information for particular on a specific point or hashtag.
Mm-hmm.
So at that time we need to use hashtag.
Hashtag over there.
Yeah.
Perfect. So, Amit, you mentioned that people need to be active, need to put tags and participate in Twitter chats. Would this approach be the same for individuals versus the corporate?
Yes. So I would like to say, if you are an individual, so you can post about what your daily activities are, what you are going to do, what you are eating. So that kind of content you can share with your followers.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are corporate or the startup, or you can post content related to behind the scene. Like if you are preparing for any event, so that kind of content you can post on your Twitter as a tweet, or you can share the success story of client on Twitter
Yeah.
through the blog post content, and how you are enjoying your life at your company or in the corporate world. If you are attending any event, you can also do the live tweeting through the conference
Mm-hmm.
with using particular hashtag, and that will give you a more traction on Twitter. And the similar kind of people will going to start following you. So yeah, start following you through that event hashtag or the agency life hashtag.
Got it. And the major difference would be that okay, while definitely I like that one particular point which you mentioned, that as an individual I can even tweet about what I'm doing today in the city or what I'm eating today. But yes, somewhere at a corporate level, you'll have to create that differentiation and you will have to restrict yourself to some specific tweets which the corporate world would like to see.
Yes. One more interesting point I want to share here. I introduced the My Ahmedabad hashtag,
Yeah.
where people can share the beautiful pictures of Ahmedabad on the Instagram and the Twitter.
Oh,
Uh,
nice.
so Through that hashtag, people are clicking pictures around their offices and the home, and so they are capturing moment and
They're
sharing the
posting it.
picture on social media with using that My Ahmedabad hashtag.
Okay, and when you say that, okay, you started this particular hashtag, you started with the initial tweets, or you have to do something special to capture a particular hashtag and say that, hey, I started with this particular hashtag.
I inform all the people on all social media platforms, like let's say Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. I posted that content that hey, all I'm going to tweet about this hashtag, or I'm using this hashtag to showcase how Ahmedabad on Twitter platform,
Mm-hmm.
and then people start contributing with that hashtag, sharing their pictures and the images on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook as well.
Nice. That's really interesting. And how
And
many people would? Yeah, go ahead.
so I don't know the exact number of people contributing on particular hashtag, but at that time it is trending on Twitter in Ahmedabad, in Mumbai, in Pune, and multiple cities.
Okay.
So my Ahmedabad hashtag it is.
And let's say if somebody wants to search and understand, okay, how many people are using a particular hashtag, is there some way to do that?
Yes,
There's no search functionality.
yes. There is a Twitter tool on internet, Tweetbinder,
Okay.
from where you can get the idea about the hashtag. You can see the number of images shared by the people, total number of contributors, number of impressions you will get from that tool.
Okay. Fine. That sounds good. Perfect. And once this all is done, let's say people start tweeting regularly and they start gaining more and more followers. What should be the approach to retain those followers? Because many time I see people following and then unfollowing somebody else. Well, so
Yes.
how do you retain those people?
So once we gain the followers and number of traction on any social media platform. So the first point I would like to say is the consistency is the key. You need to post on all social media platform and even on specific on Twitter.
Mhm.
So to retain the followers, you need to complete your bio. You need to share useful information on daily basis.
Mhm.
Reshare your followers' content. You can also retweet them and quote their tweets on your profile.
Mhm.
And again, the same Twitter chat you need to join, which is related to your industry.
Great. And you have 45,000 followers. That's a big number. With so many people following you, and that's where I believe you were also one of the top digital marketing influencers across the globe a few months back,
Yes.
or a few weeks back, in fact. So, how has been your journey? You would have also started with almost around 2 followers, 10 followers, or something like that.
Yes.
And from that to this 45,000 followers, how was your experience? Did you come across any situation where you had some challenges?
Uh, so I think I have created my Twitter account in 2008,
Mm-hmm.
and I would like to say my turning point would be that I won the first contest in July 2011, which is the Snapdeal contest. And at that time, I tweeted something about the monsoon, and
Okay,
Snapdeal selected my tweet. So
nice.
that
And
is
that's where
the
you had that
yeah
favorite of the tweets.
yeah
Nice.
yeah
So
that is
that was the starting point.
yeah that is the turning point for me to take a Twitter more seriously. So these kind of things happening on Twitter, and so
Great.
that attracts
And
me more.
yeah, you started in 2008. This thing came somewhere, I believe, in 2011, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, in 2011.
Yeah, my memory is good. I've been following you regularly. Thanks for that. So 2008 to 2011, that was the maybe a stagnant phase where not many followers. 2011, you got that particular point, and now in 2020, which is another 9 years from that particular point, you have 45,000 followers. So what difference was there? Now let's say currently it was 45,000. How many number of followers did you had somewhere in 2011 when the Snapdeal thing was announced?
So yes, I can say around 500 or 1000, 500,000 followers.
Okay, and from there to this 45,000 followers, what do you think would be the key milestones over there that, hey, these are the things where I got the maximum followers? Would you be able to
Uh,
recollect any such instance?
I don't remember any specific point, but between 2011 to 2020, I attended multiple events and conferences, and I love to do one thing, live tweeting through that event, and because of that, I can say I got a boost in my list of Twitter followers.
That's nice, and that's a really interesting thing. Usually, in the conferences, you are not an active speaker. At least you have enough amount of time to keep on tweeting the important things which are getting discussed. And if that small habit can help you with this many followers, I believe many more of our listeners will start doing that
Yes.
from today onwards. Thanks for sharing that. And Amit, the other question which I had for you was understanding the metrics. While I keep on speaking about more and more followers, are there any other important metrics that should be measured on Twitter, which gives us an indication of a good Twitter marketer versus not so good Twitter
So,
marketer?
yeah, I would like to say if you have focus on specific Twitter platform, so you need to monitor Twitter analytics on a regular basis. So total, you can measure the number of impression per tweet, number of visits from Twitter platform to your websites, so that you can measure, and number of retweets and the favorites. That metrics you can also consider, like you can say the engagement.
Great. That sounds good. And for our audience who doesn't know that, okay, where to find Twitter analytics, you should be able to find this in the list of icons. Let's say if you're browsing it from a desktop, this should come on your left hand side, and you should be able to see three dots, which if you click on it, you should be able to find analytics. And that's the section which Amit is referring to you, that you should regularly look at your tweets, understand the number of impressions, number of profile visits, etc. That should help you to ensure that your numbers every week start becoming better, right? You will push yourself to gain more better numbers instead of having red lines over there in your report card.
And you can also compare your previous month activity with the current
Mhm.
month or the previous month. So
Great.
that is one metric you can measure.
Perfect. That sounds good. The other thing would be in terms of the posting timings or any specific guidelines, because many people say that, okay, sometimes when you tweet at this particular hour, the response would be more sometimes. So time yourself accordingly. How truthful is this particular thing?
I will talk about the B2C,
Mm-hmm.
business to consumer. So if it is about the B2C company, then you need to post it on the during the weekend time.
Mm-hmm.
And if it is about the B2B, business to business, so they need to post it on more content posted on the weekdays. And apart from that, the as an independent or as an individual person,
Mm-hmm.
so they need to tweet whenever thoughts come in their mind.
Okay.
So there is no any specific time for the person or any individual. Whenever any thoughts come in mind, so generally what this is what I'm doing for my Twitter profile.
Perfect. Perfect. And but how do you think now? Let's say the other B2B companies should be doing it, because let's say if they have published a recent blog post or something, do
Yes.
you think there would be any peak times during the day that they would be specifically finding and posting it? How do we understand that, hey, these are the best times to post it? Would it be just based on the analytics numbers that, hey, I'm getting more visibility around this time and that's how I should post it?
So that we need to observe through our Twitter analytics and even the Google analytics. So after that, we can measure that key what kind of activities and when we need to tweet about B2B or about the B2C content.
Great. That sounds good. Fine. So look at your timings, and everybody would have their own favorite timings because based on their follower base.
Yes.
So identify your own timings and then create your own guidelines. There is no one rule which will be applicable across all the people.
Yes, one more thing I want to share with you and the all audience is that in rare case or in I'll schedule my tweet. So whenever I'm going to tweet or share something, it is manual post. So
Okay.
I don't believe into scheduling post and all.
Okay. Thanks. So Amit, you mentioned on the scheduling side, while you are not using it actively, if somebody wants to schedule their tweets, how should they go around doing it?
So if anyone want to schedule the tweet on Twitter, so they can use TweetDeck. It is an official tool from the Twitter, and apart from that, they can use the buffer and Hootsuite as well to
Hmm.
schedule the tweet.
Okay, and which one of this three tools which you mentioned would be a tool which you would suggest that hey, this is the easiest?
So I think TweetDeck is the easiest, and it is from Twitter team itself.
Okay, so it's safer also that way and more official in nature. Fine, that should be good. And taking the questions further, any features on Twitter that you want to highlight that people should try?
Yes, so I will discuss about the two feature. One is Twitter feed, which is Twitter introduced recently, where you can
Okay.
post text content, image content, video, zip file. So it is like the Instagram story on Twitter platform. So I'll suggest to explore and use this feature. Why? Because in a Twitter feed you will get more views and impression as compared to the tweet.
Okay, and if you want to put a Twitter feed, how do people go ahead and do it? You
So
just go on Twitter and.
the particular tweet lifespan is very less.
Mhm.
And the Twitter feed, so anyone can visit your profile and check your fleet.
Okay.
So similar thing with the tweet as well,
Mhm.
but the Twitter fleet will show up on your followers Twitter app. So whenever you go and post something new in the fleet section, that appears in the latest. They can see your what content you posted on the fleet.
Okay, fine. That's something which
Yeah.
would be nice to explore. And the other one which you were mentioning was the Twitter list.
Yes. So another
What's
one is
that
the
all?
Twitter list. So let's say if you want to create a list for the digital marketing people, those who are doing based in India or
Mhm.
in specific city. So
Yeah.
I have created one list for a journalist in Ahmedabad or in Gujarat. I just added them into the list journalist in Gujarat. I don't need to follow every journalist.
Okay.
But if I have added into the journalist in Gujarat list,
Mm-hmm.
so
Then it should automatically come on your feed.
yeah, so you just need to follow that list and their tweets and their content you can see into that list.
Okay. And again, the following question would be, how do I create a list?
There is option in Twitter. You need to go through that Twitter list and you can create new list for any specific topic that you want to create.
Great. That's nice. And anybody could create. Now, let's say you created something on a journalist for Ahmedabad. I can also do the same thing.
Yes.
Journalist for Ahmedabad. I can also create the same list. Perfect. And having said that, you have invested a lot, many years on Twitter, right? From the day when you joined. In fact, Twitter was launched somewhere in 2006, 2007, I believe, and you have been really active on it since 2008.
Hmm.
So while you've used it for almost around 12 years,
Hmm.
what do you think would be the future of Twitter moving forward?
Twitter is evolving day by day, and I can say it is great for any marketer,
Hmm.
and it is a base place to get the instant updates. So yeah,
Nice.
future is great for a Twitter platform.
Okay. So it will keep on evolving on these lines. Do you think it may go the TikTok way or put in more videos or something like that, which may be shorter?
No. This is,
They may not go. They may
yeah,
remain in that particular text space.
yeah, text, image, and I think video, but it is not that kind of the TikTok like videos.
Okay. Amit, any specific people that you follow personally and you would suggest our audience also to follow them if they want to stay updated regarding digital?
I'll give few names. Already, I am already following. First is John Mueller. If you want to get updates related to the search engines, you can follow Neil Patel, Rand Fiskin, Brian Dean, Backlinko, Terry Kim, Pala Apsar.
Perfect. I think we'll include this in our show notes
Yeah, even I
so
am
that
following you as well.
I have nobody in this list of names which you already mentioned, but thanks for that. That's great. Thanks for it. So, Amit, we'll now get into the speeded round, and I would request you to answer these questions in maximum 10 words.
Okay.
Any quote that you live by, which you follow?
So yes, I believe in to just go with the flow.
Hmm.
Uh, that is the quote which I believe in.
Perfect. If not digital, what would you be doing?
I'm a HTML developer if I'm not into this field.
Okay, HTML developer. That's nice. Which one daily habit has been a game changer for you?
Stay up to date with the digital trends.
Great. Any particular thing that you want to correct in your own life?
So yes, I want to be more kinder than what I am today and help more people through the social media and in real life as well.
Oh, great. So that's really nice. Thank you. And if we had to define Amit Panchal in one word, what would be that?
Friendly?
Great. Thanks for that. That was the spirit around. But yes, I would say there was one lie in that word thing, that when you said one thing you want to correct in your life and you mentioned that you wanted to be more kind. I know about the Blood Monk initiative which you have been driving, and the person driving Blood Monk initiative cannot be a person who needs to be more kind. He's already much kinder.
Yes.
Having said that, could you let us know more about the Blood Monk initiative?
So, Blood Monk is an initiative for people, those who need blood in emergency. And people can contact me through my WhatsApp and through the social media platforms. I just share their information on my social media channels. And through that way, they'll get the blood for their near one.
Nice.
And yeah,
And this would be active in any particular city, or it is across?
so as of now, we are helping people in Gujarat, in Ahmedabad surrounding areas.
Hmm.
But yes, sometimes I share the blood requirements from the Delhi as well, Mumbai and other cities as
Okay, and they successfully got somebody to
well.
donate.
Yes.
Yeah, great. That's it. It's, I would term that as a pan India thing. Amit, how can people stay connected with you?
They can mention me on social media platform. I am very much active. It has earlier already discussed about that.
Yeah, so that's your Twitter where they can stay connected with your Twitter ID.
Yeah. And they can contact me on my mobile number. And the number is 9328265452.
Great. That's good. Thanks for sharing it. Any parting thoughts that you would like to share with our audience?
I would like to say share the information which is related to your life with other people. Share
Hmm.
motivational story on Twitter. And the main important thing I want to say is think twice before you tweet anything on Twitter because it's
Great.
social media and the content spreading like anything.
That's interesting. Yeah, be careful about your tweets too. Perfect. That sounds good, Amit. Hey, Amit, it was a great experience having you on this particular show. We learned a lot of things: when to tweet, when not to tweet, what are the best practices in terms of tweets. So we are going to follow those particular practices, and yes, we are going to also follow some of the people whom you are following. So that's a major thing. Thanks a lot for being on this show.
Yeah. Thanks to you, Kausal,
Have a
and
great day.
the Growth Genius team.
Thank you. Our pleasure, Amit.
Yeah.
Thank you, Amit, for being on the show, and we look forward to your TEDx talk in October 2020. And thank you, friends, for listening to this episode of The Growth Genius. I hope you learned something today that would help you with your digital journey. If you did, please share this episode with your friends and family. If you are not yet subscribed, please subscribe to the Growth Genius podcast wherever you are listening to it. If you're listening to it on the Infidigit website, I request you to use a podcast app on iPhone or download Google Podcast or Spotify if you don't already have it on your phone. Subscribing to this podcast will ensure you get the episodes regularly on your phone. If you enjoyed the show, consider giving us a 5-star rating. This helps other people like you discover the show. Thank you so much for listening. Now go out there and create growth for yourself and your company. See you next week.